Hi guys, Gavin Little from Little IT here, bringing you another informative and educational video. Today I will be bringing you an instructional video on how to set up your email address or email account on your iPhone or iPad. I'll be using two different applications, the default mail application for Apple and also the Outlook application, which is my preferred application because I have all my email accounts managed through Office 365. But you don't have to have your email accounts managed through Office 365 to utilize the Outlook application. So in today's example, I will be using an email address that is hosted with Australian hosting provider Ventra IP. Check them out. So firstly, we're going to use the Apple application Mail. First thing to do is click into settings, go to passwords and accounts. On the right hand side there, we'll select add account. And then down the bottom, we're going to go to other. Here we have add mail account. So we'll select that. And we're going to type in a name, whatever you want to call this email address, and the email address that we're using, and the password. And we'll just give it a little description. So then we're going to click next. And we're going to fill in the required details. So we are going to go with an IMAP service. As I said, in this case, we're using Ventra IP as our hosting provider. But make sure you check your hosting details so you know exactly what settings are required. The username is your email address. And what I find is if you click into the email address here, double click, highlight, copy. It's just a nice quick way. Same thing again. So we use the same host name for incoming and outgoing. So if we double click, copy, click again and paste. If you're not sure how to use the copy and paste function, just type it in manually. And we just go through for the rest of these username and password. Okay, so all details are in. And click next. And now it's going to go off and verify the email account. The verification has been successful. If it's not successful, it will come back and tell you. But in this case, it's all gone through and worked okay. So we just want to worry about the mail for the moment. So all we have to do is click save. And we're set up. So if we just quickly go back into the account, this is where you can make any changes that you need to. You can also come into Advanced and make some changes based on your needs in terms of what each of these particular functions do and what folders they're actually linked to. So I'm not going to change anything here because it's exactly how I want it and I don't need to make any changes. And I suspect that most people would be the same. You can allocate how long before it will delete messages from your device. And in this case, it's just defaulted to after 1 week, so I'm going to leave it as that. So I'm done. So if I click done, and if we go out of settings, now if we click on the mail application, we can send an email. Click send. Okay, and now you can see that I've received the email and I've sent a reply. That's it. That's how simple it is, guys. So next, we're going to set up the same email account in the Outlook application. So if we open up Outlook, as you can see, I don't have any accounts currently set up. So if we set up the new account, click Add Account. Put in all the required. So what we're going to do here is manually put in the required details. At this point, we could try and sign in and Outlook would automatically try and retrieve the account settings. But I think it's important for you to understand how you actually set that up manually. So if we go to Use Advanced Settings, select that as the option. Okay, so this is where we now type in the same details as we did before for the incoming and outgoing hosting details. Same applies. If I push down and hold, you'll get up your menu like a right click when you're using a computer. Select all, copy, come across to the outgoing or SMTP host name. Just press into the box and then press it again, which brings up your menu option. Select paste, and just a quick way of putting that detail in. So that's all we should have to change at this point. If we click sign in, and we're done. So now we can set up a second email account if we have one, or we can just skip that and select maybe later. This is just a little introduction to Outlook. We'll skip that. Okay, so we're ready to go and send our first email using the Outlook application. So at the top, just to the right of your inbox label, we have the new email button. So if we type in email address that we want, and we will send off our first email from Outlook. And you notice you get Outlook for iOS as your default signature. Once I send this email, I'll show you where we can change that. Click send. Okay, and we've received our response. So we're all good to go. So as I mentioned, there's a couple of default settings that you can go and change. So if you click on the little H icon at the top left, this is where you can add additional email accounts and access your email folders as well. So if we click on the sent folder, as you can see, we'll have a couple of sent items there. If we go back, come down to the cog down the bottom left hand corner here, and this will bring up our settings. So by default, the email account is hello@littlit.net.au. We've only got one account set up, so that makes sense. And we can change our signature here as well. So that's done. So by default, when I open up a new email, my signature will be Gavin Little. So that's it, guys. Pretty straightforward once you know how to set up a Ventra IP based email address or account in your iPhone or iPad mail application and Outlook application. Thanks again. Thanks for listening. Please give me some feedback, and I will be back hopefully soon with a new informative and educational video. Thanks again, guys.